Yo, what's going on, boys? Works here. Welcome back to another spread guide breakdown today, boys. We're going to be talking about the ace slot offset, one of the honestly probably more prominent formations here in the spread playbook. It's definitely long overdue, so we're going to be putting our own spin on it today, and we're going to start here with cover 2 Mabel and then go ahead and move on. For cover 2 Mabel, guys, we're going to be talking about the 64x slice and the post wheel shallow. And then, of course, before we get into it, like always, auto flip off, auto baseline on, and then 35 just to replicate the typical Mabel. Let's begin, boys. All right, guys, to start, we are going to be running this with our two receivers on the far side of the field. So I'm currently on the right hash, so just keep that in mind. Went ahead and backed off the DBs here. Now, boys, for this play, all we're going to be doing here is putting our tight end A on the short side on a streak and then putting our running back on a table route or an out route. It's completely up to you. Basically, what we're going to be looking for here is we can go ahead and hit our B receiver once he makes his cut, because basically that purple on that left side, far side of the field, is going to be going to the sideline. Basically, it's like a hitch. And then, you know, if the user wants to follow the Y crosser, we can go ahead and hit X on the back side of the field. And then this crosser, stock crosser by Y, is going to be able to get over top of the 5-yard purple and underneath a 25 or 30-yard zone drop. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the Y tight end first on this kind of funky stock crosser. Show you guys how he gets underneath the light blue and over top the purple. It could be a nice little sweet spot. And, you know, that table route by the running back kind of helps influence to keep him fully locked down, even on top of his zone drop, already keeping him down. Now, as I back up these DBs one more time, like I was saying, guys, you can also hit your B receiver once he begins making his cut. It's basically like a hitch where he can go ahead and, you know, potentially get upfield or wherever that purple's position. You guys can try to get around him. Real nice spot of the field. You guys can supplement this with a hitch if you want, just to if you need to, but it's not really necessary. It could save you some time just leaving it on the stock route. And then, you know, fellas, like I was saying, if the user decides to follow this Y tight end, what you guys will see here, I'll just man him up just to try and mimic it. He'll probably lag a little behind, but for the most part, we'll just act like it's locked down. You guys will also have your X receiver on the back end of this play, something like this. So I threw that a little early, actually, but just know he'll be coming across the middle of the field, and if that user wants to kind of get away from the middle, it'll be a nice weak point that you guys can beat the user with this in route. So real nice, simple, quick throw play, you know, with some more strung out options like the backside cross, or not the backside crosser, backside in, and later in the play you guys can hit your crosser as well. So real nice play against cover 2 Mabel. Let's go ahead and move over to shallow. All right, guys, up next we have shallow with our two receivers on the far side against Mabel. Now, guys, for this play, let me actually go ahead and set up the Mabel real quick and back off these DBs. I am going to go turn off this A gap. I'll just put him in a purple as well. That way we won't have to keep blocking him, but assume that you will be getting A gapped here. Boys, all we're going to be doing for this play is putting our tight end on a streak again. We're going to go ahead and smart route the X receiver or whoever's playing the post. It will kind of give him like another 1.5 yards of his route depth. And then finally, we're going to put our running back in the backfield on a ghost route. Now, guys, pretty much what we're looking for here is, because we're going up against a Mabel where a lot of stress is in the middle of the field, we basically have a high-low where if this user wants to play over the top on this post, we can go ahead and hit our tight end underneath. And then if this tight end underneath kind of holds the user down, we can go ahead and hit our X over the top. Now, this is going to be a little weird just because it's not a live user, but be able to show it to you guys really easily in the instant replay. So right here, we can go ahead and hit our Y tight end. But like I was saying, in a real game, when you guys have the user kind of flying around, you guys can determine which read you want to hit sooner, and basically just have a lot better looking play. You also have the running back out of the backfield. Even though this DB is pretty close to him inside the slot, sometimes, you know, like for example, if I have Eric Dickerson here who has, you know, angry runs or anything like that, these like ghost routes can be so disgusting where we just have one guy and then everyone else is so far back because of zone drops, we can get just an insane amount of yards. So I know, like, on video this play doesn't look the best, but we have a lot of good options here that we can hit, and this running back is a great check down nonetheless. So just keep this in mind. Really like this play against Mabel. All right, boys, and then finally I want to show you guys the wheel out of the slot here. Now, if you want to try and hit this wheel over the top, you are going to have to put X on a deep post. There's also something about this deep post I want to show you guys after this as well, but you guys can do pretty much the same setup of the streak and the ghost. I am going to go ahead and just kind of block everybody here or spy them instead, because practice mode sheds are insane, especially on any type of deep throw like this. But You guys will notice, let me go back off these DBs. I'll just do the one on the one side. But looking at B here, if you guys get a little bit of time, you guys can go ahead and fit this in over top of the cloud, and then just make sure you possession this. It'll be something nice to mix in. It is a little riskier just because, you know, we're throwing all the way across the field. So if you have the abilities, 7 feet lead, you'll be fine. But just keep this in mind. And then before we move on, boys, this is something that I haven't tested in game. So this one setup, please know, this has not been tested in game, but if we just go ahead and put our X receiver on a post and have nobody else running vertical on the right side, the far side, or I'm sorry, the strong safety deep half will kind of play dumb and play down, and we can go ahead and just throw our deep post over the top. Now, you know, like I said, I haven't tried this in game, just thought I'd throw it out there. But I guess real quick, we'll just show it with a shade over the top and see if it does the same thing. If we shade over the top and this doesn't stop it, then this could be a problem, but probably will stop it. But just something I thought I'd throw in just because I haven't checked it. I don't know, boys. It might be a problem. Who knows? You guys might want to test this in game. Just know I haven't yet. So we'll throw it in. Whatever. We'll throw it in. Let's get to the next play. All right, boys. Now talking about cover 3, cover 4 drop beaters. I try to make these universal. So if there is a play where it won't beat cover 3 and cover 4 at the same time, I'll let you guys know. But for this setup, boys, we're going to be using post wheel shallow. We're also going to be talking about post and PA verts. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to talk about cover 4, cover 3, and yeah, let's go. All right, guys. So for post wheel shallow, I'm going to actually run this against cover 3 press here first. Boys, all you're going to be doing here is putting your X receiver on a skinny post. You're going to go put your Y tight end, which is going to be the 2 receiver side tight end, on a crosser. You're going to streak your short side tight end and put your running back on a table. So we're just creating a flood on one side, and then we're having a nice underneath option with that post on the far side. So we'll go ahead and start here with the B receiver on his wheel, show you guys how we can throw this, kind of just a little free form down and then try to get outside. That was a terrible throw by me as I was like getting instant shedded, but we'll go ahead and show this one more time. Go ahead, press this defense again, try and show you guys how I like to throw this. Typically stay in the pocket, and then you guys can just free form out and then get your possession and get out of bounds. So you guys know I love wheels. And then on the all the routes that are flooding the short side, incredibly easy. Just kind of look low to high. I have my zone drop set to 5, so the table isn't really going to be an option. So we can go ahead and hit our crosser here. But this is an awesome combination with the tight end crossers. They run so much shorter than slot apprentice crosser, and it makes beating zones just so easy. So this is what I like to run here against cover 4. I'll go show you guys cover 4 now. You're going to have just the same exact play. There's literally no change here. And this is with the quarters on the outside. You guys see that post can do a good job kind of keeping him up, and then sometimes just literally pulling him inside the middle of the field. So this is still a great option for you. And then your crosser is still going to absolutely dominate. This streak will still pull that quarter, and then you guys can hit your crosser like so. As long as this is going to the short side, that streak will pull that outside quarter upfield. So just keep this in mind, guys. This can be really great against cover 3 and cover 4 shells. Up next, guys, we're going to be talking about post. Now I have this in my audible here, so we're not going to be going back to the huddle. All we're going to be doing, guys, is putting X on a skinny post. That's just going to help get him a little more vertical and help pull that outside third. And then we're going to go put our running back on an in route, and then we'll go ahead and motion over our inside tight end, and then we will go ahead and put him on a fade. Okay, we can utilize a fade at this positioning, so I always like to do that when I can. As you guys see, that's going to motion the X receiver closer inside, and we can go ahead and get our B receiver on his corner underneath outside those deep zone coverages. So this is it again against cover 3. We're just attacking both sidelines here. See, we can easily go ahead and hit B here with a simple just pass lead, no free form. And then on the short side of the field with our tight end on his very short running corner, we can go ahead and attack the sideline from there too. So go ahead and show this again. Like I said, your running back, I like to put him on an in route. Let me go to audible to cover 3 again, show you guys this. And then we can go ahead and hit our tight end Kyle Pitts underneath as well. Just a very good post route, or corner, excuse me. And fellas, this is also going to work against cover 4. I'm probably just going to show us throwing like one of these routes, so just so we can move on. I don't want to keep you guys any longer than we have to. But you're going to do the same exact setup. You're skinny on your X receiver. You're going to fade this motion tight end. Then your running back, I personally like to put him on an in route. You guys can shake it up for whatever you're playing against. But you guys see, we can go ahead and hit our A tight end. That fade does a really good job. And then your B receiver is going to get open as well. I'll go ahead and just real quick, just cut and show you guys how he gets open over there as well. So Really nice play against cover 3 and cover 4. Alrighty guys, for our cover 3 beater, we are going to be calling post here. Now guys, for this play, all we're going to do is motion our running back to the short side. Going to put him on a comeback. Now to keep the user in the middle of the field, just so he doesn't go back and guard the bomb, we're going to go and put our B receiver on a drag. We're also going to put our A tight end on a post. This is basically just a high-low to make sure that user sits still in the middle. And finally, we're going to go ahead and put our Y tight end on a streak to pull the middle third safety. So here is the play in action. Basically, we're just trying to survive to go ahead and throw over the top to our deep post. And I mean, guys, listen, if you just don't have time, we're still going to have a drag and a post. We're going to have some options that we can pick apart the user with. So just keep that in mind. You know, this play isn't just a full commitment to a deep bomb. You know, wherever they kind of get away from with their user, we can just throw the opposite. And then even if we survive, we can go ahead and throw our post late in the play. Right there, I get pressured, but a nice pass lead or free form down will get our tight end open. We just need to make sure for this throw we are kind of free forming down, because this outside third is not going to commit with this post this late in the play. He will kind of resort back. So a little free form or pass lead, maybe even just kind of down a little bit, is going to put you in a real safe position to make this catch. So just keep this in mind. It's kind of an all-around cover 3 beater still at the end of it, but you know, we also have this play over the top. All right, guys, now going to cover 2, I will set my auto alignment to man. Go talk about the cover 2 man blitz out of the dollar. Guys, for this play, we are going to be running the post wheel shallow. You guys know I love wheels against cover 2. All we're going to be doing, boys, is putting X here on a skinny post again. We're going to go ahead and put our Y tight end on a crosser, put our A tight end on a streak to pull the deep half, and then your running back can kind of put him on anything. I'll just put him on a Texas, that way we have something. But really, we have some options here. I do have route tech on my Y tight end, which does help against man, so please keep that in mind. So you will probably see a lot more success from him on my screen. But right here, this tight end does a great job for me getting open against the cover 2. And if you guys have seen our other guides with wheels against cover 2, like for B, or looking at B, for example, I'm sorry, this can get open like a lot. And since man coverage just doesn't have the, you know, as quick play on ball once the ball's in the air, this can be just a great tool for us. And then of course, you know, depending on whatever the user's trying to do, this Texas is always something nice to mix in against man coverage. But of course, just be mindful of the user and where he's positioned. So yeah, boys, I mean, this is kind of all I have for man right now. I'm sure there's other combinations that I'll, you know, come up with just over time. But for something that I would feel comfortable showing you guys, this is what I want to put on the guide. And up next, we'll just talk about run plays for a quick moment. All right, guys, and then to wrap it up, listen, I want to make this like super quick with the run game because I don't necessarily run too often. Especially, I'm not super experienced with this offense, but listen, we have a lot of options here. RPO slot bubble, everyone knows this one. You also have a QB read option. 0-1 trap can be good, but sometimes I feel like this late in the season, everyone's really quick. There's a lot of inside stuff. Sometimes I feel like it takes a while, but listen, ultimately, when you have Eric Dickerson and you have instant on yak 'em up Michael Irvin, this is going to be great for your RPOs. Now, one thing I want to mention super quickly, like typically I'll go put Irvin here so I can get that instant yak on ability. But listen, with this RPO slot, I have seen, do I need another controller for this? I guess I really don't. I'll just do this out of like dollar, it'd be fine. But if you guys like want, you can like motion in this X receiver and then snap throw to him instead, which I think is like really interesting. When I was labbing this, I thought like maybe this is somehow an illegal formation. I went into a solo challenge and there was no penalty or anything like that. So this could be like pretty damn good depending on who you're going up against, you know, so you guys can hit this seam. This could be pretty sweet. But for the run, all in all, guys, I mean, listen, if they're blitzing their slot corner, it's always good to pick them up. But sometimes what I like to do is really just hand the ball off and then just kind of instant juke him out of the way. And then, you know, let Eric Dickerson do Eric Dickerson things. But for the run game, I don't want to talk about this too much, just because I feel like, I mean, you guys know how to hit A and run the football. But like I was mentioning, I do like having a yak 'em up receiver here against a cover 2. This really isn't the right play. But, you know, if you catch him in a cover 3 and you guys throw this, you know, you can expect to get that first break tackle for the most part, whatever. A little inconsistent for the video recording, of course, but just something I wanted to point out, that you guys can motion this X receiver, snap, and then throw him. And this could be awesome. This could be really, really good depending on who you're playing. So just thought I'd throw it in. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. I'll probably get some more gameplay on this soon. Don't know if it's going to get uploaded, but you might see another part 2 for this just because it's part of the Spread Playbook. This is what I run. Hey guys, post commentary collision here. My outro really sucked. So just wanted to say thanks for watching, boys. Really appreciate all the support here this late in the season. If you guys have any questions about the guide, just hit me up here in the comments or a DM on Discord. And see you boys in the next one. Probably going to be some 3-3 Cub, Run D. Thanks again for watching, fellas. See y'all soon. Peace.